and welcome to another episode of Money Factor, fun finance for children in primary school. So, are you ready for today's adventure? We are going to pay as your grandparents or great-grandparents did. Welcome to pre-decimalisation England and United Kingdom. And so hop on the time bike and cycle back to a Britain you will hardly recognize. Come on, run around until your tutor tells you to stop.
Challenge 1 was all about how much you could buy, when, where, and for how long.
In 1955, 10 years after World War II had finished and finally ended, this country was still recovering. So all the things that you can see today at the supermarket, chances are either they were not there at all, or there would have been much smaller and fewer of them.
This is what an adult could buy every week if they wanted to in 1952.
I know, it's not a lot, but the good news was that if you were a child, you would get free milk and orange juice at school or at your community centre. So children were looked after.
And of course, treats like pizza or kebab were virtually unheard of. You couldn't find them anywhere. The good news is that curry at least was available. Challenge number 2 is about how to pay for what you're buying. This is the money we use today. The unit of reference is the £1, and £1 is either made of multiple of tens or fractions of tens. 5p, 10p, 20p, 50p, right? Do you agree with me? But in 1952, if you wanted to use a pound, you had to use a note, and £1 was made of 20 shillings, which in turns were made of 12 pence. 12 pence makes a shilling, 20 shillings make a pound, which was not a coin. In fact, it was a banknote. Are you confused? And there were more coins in circulations. For example, a penny could be split in four. 1/4 of a penny was called farthing. I said farthing. And then there was a 3p and a 6p. As the word says, 3 pence made a 3p and 6 pence made a 6p, which was also thought to be very lucky. And 4 shillings made a crown. And 2 shillings made a half a crown. Are you going completely cuckoo? This is not over. And in 1952, the signs for the money was a bit different. Yes, the sound for the pound sterling was the same as today, but shillings were known as S and pence, wait for it, as D, the Latin word for denarius. Here's a good example. Look at this price for this butter. And now let's look at this shopping basket and let's see if we can do a little bit of 1952 shopping maths.
And here is the solution. Did you get it right? How can you actually read this amount of money? What's the price? What's the total? So the flowers are 5 shillings, the bread is 7 pence, the cheese is 2 shillings, 2 pennies, and the eggs are 4 shillings for a dozen. And the total is 11 shillings and 9 pence. How close are we to a pound? Challenge number 3. We said that many of the things we are used to today were either not available or they were very scarce in the 50s. Now, here's the new challenge. Spot the odd one out. One of these items, or maybe more than one of these items, is wrong. Find it. Here's the list. Take note, because I didn't write the names. I only gave you 3 symbols. So here we go. Apples, pineapples, salad, steak, toothpaste, shower gel, milkshakes, milk, hamburgers, pizza, eggs, cookies, cheese, vegan cheese, a tube of ice cream, comics, bottle of olive oil, jar of Nutella, jar of peanut butter, jar of Biscoff, jar of jam. Which one is not going to be available in the 50s? Go now. So, are you ready for a surprise? And please do not cheat. Make sure that you're only playing this once you have already gone through it and you've discussed it. Yes, apples were available, but you were better off if you had someone who had a farm or you had your own plot and you grow them themselves. Same goes for salads and other kinds of fruits and vegetables. Pineapple? Certainly not fresh pineapples. You would have been lucky to get canned pineapples. And of course, frozen pineapples were out of the question. Most people did not have a freezer. Steaks, yes, in 1955, meat was off rationing. In fact, there was no rationing at all. You would have got it, but most likely at a butcher's. Milkshakes, no. If you knew a milkshake, you were American or you had been in the States. A toothpaste, yes, it was available. Shower gel, no. You would have got a bar of soap. Eggs, yes, available. Hamburger, again, like milkshakes, no. It would have been not available, not widely available. Pizza, not really. The first kind of cappuccino bars and pizza places would have been around in the 60s, so at least 10 more years. Cheese, yes. Vegan cheese, ha ha ha. Not at all. People did not even know what vegan meant. Biscuits or cookies, yes, but they would have been called biscuits. Milk, certainly. Bottle of olive oil. If you had olive oil, you had gone to Boots or any other pharmacy to clear your ears. Yes, you've heard me properly. Olive oil was not used in the kitchen. Comics, yes. Ice cream, yes, but from the ice cream van or from an ice cream parlor. As I said, there were no freezers available, but very few people had freezers. So you would not have had like a tub of ice cream. Same for Nutella, Biscoff, peanut butter, no. But you would have been able to buy a jam. Any kind of jams, in fact, and marmalades. So did you get this right? Well done if you did. Never mind if you didn't. Time to find out how to pay in pounds, pennies and shillings. Are you ready? And here is our shopping list for the day. Have you noticed most things are either in powder or canned? In a world when most of the things you ate and used and drank were either dried or second-hand or in cans, the biggest treat would have been fresh food. Can you imagine? Now, here are the prices. And here is a reminder of the currency. Remember, 12 pence made a shilling, 20 shillings make a pound. And these are, there's also crowns and half crowns and farthings. So have a good look and now calculate the total. Quiz time. Are you ready? Are you confident? Are you comfortable? Okay, so here are my questions. Listen to them, make notes, work in groups, and when you're ready to give your answers, start this video again. Here goes. Question number 1. Is 1 crown enough to pay for the shopping? And if it is, do you get any change? And can you tell us the price of the food you've just bought, the shopping list, in shillings only? Now that you've seen the answers, let's talk about it. Yes, 1 crown is enough to pay for the shopping list that I've given you, the custard, the bread, the milk, because 1 crown equals 5 shillings. Second question was, would you get any change if you had 1 crown? And yes, you would. You would get a change of 4 pence. Remember, it's 12 pence to the shilling, not 10. And this is a very frequent mistake. And if you were to express the total cost in shilling only, then the shopping list we have talked about would be up to £4 and 8 shilling. Did you write it properly? Same symbol for the pound, but the shilling would be the S, or 4/8. Does the shopping cost more or less than half a pound? Now, if a pound is 20 shillings, half a pound is 10 shillings, and we have not paid anywhere near that. So yes, the shopping cost less than half a pound. In fact, the shopping cost only about 5 shillings and not 10 shillings. Did you get this right? If not, never mind. If so, well done. Have you enjoyed your adventure in pre-decimalisation Britain? Do you think it was too difficult? How did your grandparents and parents cope with this strange system? Talk to them. And do you like our own decimal system? Is it easier? Whatever you think, I hope you've enjoyed. And remember, children, vavavoom, enjoy more Money Factor. And our next adventure will be next week. Have a lovely afternoon. Bye-bye. Again.
Thank you for watching and listening.
Created using Powtoon.